course someone wants to make a smoothie in the middle of me recording. What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Destiny, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back to the family. You guys know the deal. Today's video is a tutorial on my natural makeup routine, which is what I'm wearing right now. A lot of you guys have commented on my previous videos and on my Instagram, on my DMs, asking me to upload a tutorial on my natural makeup routine that I've been doing recently. So I have been doing something different with my makeup. I didn't think anyone would notice, but alas, you guys did. You asked for a tutorial, and I'm serving, babies. I'm serving for you. So I still have my swatches here from when I was recording earlier, but if you guys want to see how I do this natural makeup in underneath 10 minutes, keep on watching this video. Of course, this video is longer than 10 minutes because I'm literally explaining the whole process to you. If you're a newbie to makeup, if you're experienced in makeup, I hope this video helps you out. I'm sure it will. Let's get right on into it. But before I start this video, I want to thank you guys so freaking much for 48K subscribers. I cannot comprehend any of this. I'm so ecstatic, I'm happy, I'm blessed, I'm so thankful for this community that we have here on YouTube. If you have been subscribed to me for a while, I love you. If you're a new subscriber, I love you. If you are someone watching that's not subscribed, why not? We finna fight. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this video. I'm gonna put out a subscriber special soon. Hopefully we hit 50K, and I said when I started this channel that if I ever hit 50K, I'm gonna do a 50K special. So that means special videos, that means a giveaway, that means so much more exciting stuff. So if you want to be a part of this community, make sure that you're subscribed, hitting that notification bell. It really does support me and this channel. But without further ado, let's get right on into this natural glam before I start crying, because we sentimental up in this bitch. Let's get into this makeup because I'm obsessed. Can we not? Okay, let's start. Here we are. Starting with a clean face. My hair looks so crazy right now, but it'll look better once I take it down. I have a little headband just to pull everything back because otherwise it'll be all over my face, and we don't want any of that. So I'm gonna just start out with my base, which is this Trestique foundation, and it comes in a little stick. It's so cute and it's really natural looking. The shade match is pretty good, at least for my shade, and I usually use this. And the concealer that I use is the e.l.f. 16 Hour Camo Concealer. This is such an affordable concealer, and guys, it's such good coverage. I want to say full coverage, and it's also buildable as well. So I suffer from getting like really creasy under eyes, so this doesn't crease that much, especially if I set up my under eyes well. So first, I'm gonna do my primer. My primer that I use is the e.l.f. Jelly Pop. I really like this. It makes me really dewy without it feeling too sticky. Like, it does feel like candy, if I'm being honest. It feels like gel, but once it's on and you put your foundation on top of it, it feels so much better. So I'm gonna do that first. And I also just clean my face, so I'm working on clean skin. And the only thing I put on is toner, and I did use the Ole Henriksen green tea toner. I'll add a little picture here on the side. This is my holy grail toner. I'm telling you right now, this is not sponsored. I've just always loved that toner. And I just pat it on. And it feels sticky at first, which is a little bit weird, but not too sticky where it's like, ew. You know what I mean? So I just put this on, and my skin type is oily. I have like normal to oily skin, but leaning towards more oily. Do with that what you will. What works for me might not work for you, so keep that in mind. But if you are looking for a new natural makeup routine, hopefully this could work out for you too. So I just put my primer on, and then I'm gonna go in with my foundation, and I just push it up. It's like a little twist cap. And I just go in like a little W on the bottom, and then I go on my chin, my nose, and my forehead. Just like that. I don't know if you guys can see. Oh yeah, you can see. Little W, right here, and right there. And then I just blend that out, and I add as needed, you know, depends on how much coverage I want for that day. And I use a beauty blender to blend everything out. And I don't wet it, I actually just like marinate it in setting spray. I saw it on TikTok and it worked. So this is what I do now. I'm just using my Sephora setting spray. I usually use the Morphe one, but I ran out and I literally haven't even opened this yet. I literally just took it out the packaging before I turned on the camera. So I'm not too sure how the setting spray is gonna work, but it's all I have right now. I usually use the Morphe one, which is this one right here. I'll add a little picture. And I just like spray the living hell out of it. You see it's like damp. Clean. And then I just dab it on. This is like the boring part. But it also feels really good. And I have been breaking out because I've been stressed recently, so I'm gonna need a little bit of concealer to really cover those up. But I've broken out way worse than this. It's not too bad. If you guys can see, yeah, like here I break out a little bit more, like towards the bottom of my face. And stressful girls get stress acne. I don't know what to tell you. So here is a little bit light for me. It's not as much as I'd like, so I'm gonna put a little bit more, and that's what I like about this. It's super buildable. And honestly, I'm using a beauty blender, but this thing comes with its own little sponge. I like to take things like this in a travel bag, so like say I'm going on vacation, I can just drop this in my bag and I have to worry about like what I'm gonna use it with, because I have a little thing right here, especially if it's like a quick weekend getaway. Even though I haven't gone anywhere, which is why I haven't used it yet, it's there for future reference. Blending this out. And then after this, I'm gonna go in with my concealer, and you can feel free to like blend this down into your neck or whatever you like to do with your makeup. But since this is such a good shade match for me, it doesn't look like I'm wearing foundation. So I don't go too hard or worry too much about blending like into my neck, because like you're not really noticing a big difference. Imagine I'm like looking at this editing right now in the future, and then I see that my neck looks like a whole different tone than my face. That'll be really funny. Also, if I'm looking to the side, it's literally because I have a mirror here. I want to make sure that I'm actually blending stuff correct. This is how it looks. It looks really good to me. I like having my beauty marks show out, you know, so it's not too full coverage. This is what I really like in a natural makeup. I want it to look really natural. So now I'm gonna go with my 16-hour camo concealer, and this thing is super light. And then I just take two little swoops at the edge of my eye. I don't know if you guys noticed what I just did right there. Let me zoom in so you guys can see. So I just put it here in the corners of my eye in like a triangle, and then I just went up and up, like towards where my wing would go if I did a winged liner right now. And then I'm gonna let that sit for like a minute or two, and while I'm letting that set, I'm also gonna just like pinpoint little acne spots that I have, or little spots of redness that I don't want. Like on this side, there's quite a bit that I don't want there. So I'm just gonna dab this. I also go a little bit on my nose and on the tip, so like a little exclamation point, and then I just go 1, 2, 3. And that's what, of course someone wants to make a smoothie in the middle of me recording, but that is what my concealer looks like. Oh my god, I look so crazy right now. I look like I'm in the movie Avatar. I was supposed to put some setting spray before putting my concealer on, but I totally forgot. So I'm just gonna shake this up now and just give us slight spray. That was obviously so much spray, but if you don't put on your setting spray like that, you're not doing it right. So while that sets, I'm gonna do my eyebrows, and I usually just use the there's a lot of e.l.f. here. I'm noticing I use a lot of e.l.f. So I have my e.l.f. Instant Lift brow pencil, and I'm using it in the shade, honestly I don't even know what shade this is, deep brown. So I'm just gonna swoop my eyebrows up, or brush them up, and then I'm gonna just fill in the places where I want my eyebrow just to be a little bit more defined. So I have pretty thick eyebrows, but if you notice, like there's some you know, gaps, if you would say. And all I do is I just take my little pencil out. So this is what it looks like. It's pretty dark, honestly, but I go pretty lightly and I just do small little hair strokes. And I basically just do that until I'm happy with it. I go like to the front. I'm pretty light on the front because I don't like them to look too boxy. And yeah, that's about it. I just make the hair strokes until I'm happy with my eyebrow, and this could take less than a minute or it could take up to 5 minutes. It really depends on how precise I want to be with my brows that day and if it's a good brow day, because some days it's just not a good brow day and it's alright. So in the middle of it, I'll also just take my opposite end and just brush it out again, just to try and blend it out a little bit more. And usually for natural brows, I like stop there. I think I like how that looks. There's a small little right there. So yeah, do with it as you please. Everyone likes their brows different, so you can really do your brows however you want. This is just how I do mine. And then to set it, I'm just gonna go in with the, what is this? The Shape and Stay brow pencil. And it's not really a pencil, it's literally just like a wax stick. So all I do is open it, and it is a little bit angled because I have been using it, but that is what it looks like. It kind of looks like the old like lip stains, how like you would put the lip stain on and then they have like this little wax pencil that you like put on top, which helps it stay on all day. That's what that reminds me of, but it works for your eyebrows. So I'm just gonna brush my eyebrows up with it so that it kind of looks like the wax brow, like how they do the freeze brow, Anastasia freeze brow or whatever that is. I like how those brows look. I just cannot comprehend spending that much money on a product that's just gonna make your brow stay in place when this works just as well, and it's literally half the price. Well, probably less than that. Honestly, this is really inexpensive. So I kind of just like really went crazy with it. So I just go back in with the brush from my e.l.f. pencil, and then I just like make it cleaner. I probably spent too long on that, and my concealer is probably not gonna blend. So I'm just gonna take my little tiny beauty blender, spray the hell out of her with some setting spray, and then I'm gonna go in and blend my concealer. And I did take too long, so I'm just gonna spray my face just to wet it up a little bit and blend my life away. Honestly, I like the little beauty blenders because it's more precise and it keeps the product in the area that you want it. Usually when I try to use a big beauty blender, it kind of blends out too far for me, or at least in my experience that's what happens for me. And this just makes it way easier. And it looks really bright right now, but once we set it and get everything else going, it'll look beautiful, trust me. And one thing you can also do if you suffer from like dry under eye or you get lots of creases in your under eye, try putting an eye cream on before like starting your makeup, because that'll really hydrate your under eye and make sure that you don't get any creases. Because I really get creasy under eyes, and it's not that they're dry, it's just that they crease. I don't know, I feel like maybe I set them, or I used to set them too much with setting powder, so it just dried out my under eye way more than it was supposed to, and it led to creasing, which is totally not cute, especially if you have a really beautiful face with makeup on and then you have big ass creases underneath. Like, that's not fun. I'm gonna add just a little bit more because this side seems a little bit lighter than this side. So now that we did that, I'm also gonna try and clean my eyebrows like underneath, and by doing that I'm also gonna kind of put a primer down for my eyelid. I forgot my brush, so I'm just gonna use this. I'm just gonna go into my eyebrow and just kind of like carve out where my eyebrow is. Blend it in. Beautiful. So now I'm just going to set my under eye a little bit more. And I'm going to use the Airspun setting powder. And then I'm just going to take my little beauty blender. And I'm also going to just bake underneath my eye. And I'm just taking a very slight amount. I'm just taking my beauty blender, dabbing it in there. And it has like that much product on it. Even that's like a little bit too much. So I'll just shake some off. And then I'll start in the middle of my eye right here. And then go in and out. Just lightly pressing in. And I'll take that into my eyelids as well, just to have some type of powder there to make sure that that concealer does increase. I just finished setting my face. I'm gonna go back in with a little bit of foundation right here because I see some spots that aren't as blended out. So I'm gonna do that. And now that we have our base done, let's get into the fun part. Okay, the base literally took me 23 freaking minutes. It didn't take me this long in real life. It's honestly less than 10 minutes, but because I had to explain it, you know, it added another 10 minutes. But it's okay, let's keep going. I'm gonna go in with my contour or my bronzer, and this is the Temp 2 bronzer, and this is in the shade Warm Glow. And I actually got this in an Ipsy bag a while ago. And it's lasted me forever. So I'm not mad about it. My camera is dying. Let me go get a new battery. This is so chaotic. Oh my god. I feel like I'm on FaceTime with a friend right now. Okay, we're back. We're ready. And I just shake it up. Open it. And then I just put a few dots on the outskirts of my face, like right there, like 3 dots. And then I usually just blend it with my fingers. I'm gonna do like 2 up here, or 3 towards my hairline. And then I just take my finger and I blend that out. I really love the natural glow that this gives me without it looking like I tried too hard with my makeup, you know? So it's really natural. Your fingers are your friends. That's what I'm trying to say here. So really nice. I might go on with a little bit more. And then I also nose contour with this. I started doing this recently, and that's really the difference that I've been making in my routine from like what I used to do for my makeup. I used to do powdered everything except for foundation, but this tends to work a little bit better in my opinion. I like how it looks. It looks really beautiful and natural. So all I do is just like go around my nose, 2 little things there, and then I'll go up the side and I blend that with my finger as well. I don't know if you guys can tell, but with this, it kind of just like melts into the skin. I don't know how else to explain it. I really just love how this feels. It feels like I'm wearing absolutely no makeup, which I love, especially for the hotter months. I don't like feeling like I'm wearing a full face of makeup. So this is literally so good. I like that so far. Okay, now we're gonna go in with my blush. This is my favorite thing to do, honestly, and I use the Evo Beauty Velvet Color Sticks, and guys, these are so good. This is what they look like. Travel friendly, so compact, and they come in many different colors. I have these 2 colors, which are the shades Be Kind, which is this one, and then I have the shade Be Anything, which is this one, and I'll like swatch them on the back of my hand so you guys can see. How pretty is that? So I go with the coral color first. I just make a streak right there, like right on top of my cheekbone, and then I just literally go ham with blending it with my finger. And what I've been doing with my blush is like bringing it down kind of into my under eye area, not being scared of it just going kind of all over this area. And it just brings a more lifted look to your face, which I've been loving. Literally just blending with my fingers. Even though this video is taking much longer than I anticipated, doing this by yourself is going to take not as much time, especially because half of it is being done with your fingers. Beautiful. Now I'm going to go in with the mauve, which is the shade Be Anything, and then I'm just going to go whoop, whoop. And honestly, it depends on the day how much blush I want. Here's looking a little light, to be honest. So I'm going to go back in with my coral. So after I do this, then I go in with my eyeshadow. And this palette is such a good neutral palette. This is the I Think I Love You palette. And she's been a little bit loved, but not too bad. I'm going to go in with this color right here. Fancy Face. That's what I'm using. Fancy Face. Dab it off, and then I just go in like a swoop motion like this. So like in and out, as if I was doing like a wing. And by doing that, I'm just gonna add a little bit more dimension to my eye and just keep swooping. I usually go in like maybe 2 to 3 times. And then I just go back with a darker color on the outside. So I'll show you that in a second. I'm just going to blend it in and out, in and out. And then I'm going to go in with the darkest color here on the side, on the lower right hand side. And that is the shade Screw It. I just like dab it in there and then go on the outside. And like I said, just keep doing that swoop motion. I kind of go back and forth at the end to kind of like finish out that wing a little bit. But the swoosh motion here is key because it's going to add that little bit more of dimension to the face. Now that that's done, all I'm going to do is take my middle finger and I'm going to dip it in any of these shimmery shadows that I'm feeling for the day. And the most that I dip into is this one right here, which is the shade Rowdy. And I'm gonna go with my middle finger, just go around, and look at how pigmented. So pretty. Then I just go, let me zoom in, and I put a dot in the middle, and then I just go side to side. Really easy, and it adds that little extra shimmer just to make it look like you tried a little bit harder, you know, on your makeup today. After that, I'm going to go in with the same brush that we used for the swoosh. I'm going to dip it back into this lighter shade, which is Fancy Face, and then just blend that in a little bit more with the same swoosh motion. And that's it. That's all I do for my eyeshadow. Now I'm going to do my highlight. So for my highlight, I use a drugstore highlight. And this is what the highlight looks like. And this is the shade White Goddess, which is shade 101. This is what it looks like. JCat Beauty shade 101. And it's well loved. I'm just going to go in with my finger. And I just go on the tip of my nose, the bridge. I also go on my inner eyes. And then I just dab it on. And I just go in until I'm happy with how glowy I look. Really depends on the day, so do as you please. But once we're done with that, we're gonna go in with our mascara. And the one thing I started doing is actually using an eyelash curler. I always hated using an eyelash curler because I just felt like they took too much time out of my day, but we're gonna do it. I'm gonna curl my lashes. And I do have pretty short lashes, so this really does save me. And after that, I'm going to go in with these two. And I started using these recently, and I really like them. This is the Rimmel London Ultimate Boost Volume Primer. And then I also have their Bambi Eye Mascara. The Rimmel London is literally a white primer, but it's a pretty good wand. You guys can see, really spaced out, really thick, which I like. And then I'm just gonna go in with the primer as if It's a regular mascara. Put this through my lashes. And then after a coat of that, I'm just gonna let it dry a little bit more. Alright, now that I have the first coat on, this is what it looks like. And then I like to recurl my lashes and then put the Bambi eye on. And while that dries, I'm gonna start my lip liner. Usually I'll just do a lip liner and a gloss. So today I'm just gonna use my LA Girl Perfect Precision lip liner. And this is in the shade Flesh. This is what it looks like. So this is the shade Flesh, and I just freshly sharpened it. I like to use a freshly sharpened tip every time I do my lip liner. That just adds even more. That just makes sure that you get a really clean outline every single time. I used to not care, like I used to use it half gone, and it really does make a difference if you have a pointed tip. So I'm gonna do that. They look really beige right now, but it's gonna come together, trust me. So now that that's dried, let's go in with the eyelash curler one more time, just to make sure that those lashes are nice and upright. This is what the Bambi eye looks like. Really, really thick and really flexible too. I don't know if you guys can see, like really flexible. I was gonna go up and go over that primer. As the top dries, we're gonna go in with the lip gloss, and I've been literally loving this. This is the NYX Filler Instinct Lip Plumper, and guys, this is so good. I love how this one looks on me and how it feels. It doesn't feel like my lips are gonna fucking burn off, you know? Even though it does have that little tingly feeling, but it's not insane. But it still gives me that lip injection effect, you know? So I'm gonna put that on top. And that's what the lip filler looks like on top of the lip liner. So pretty, right? And it doesn't literally make my lips want to burn off. So now that that's just a little bit more dry, I'm going to finish up my mascara by adding just a little bit more on the top and then doing my bottom lashes. Beautiful. So now that that's all done, we're gonna set everything. Okay, and then the last thing I like to do for my makeup, at least recently, is like put dots on my face. I don't know if you guys have noticed that I've been doing that, but for some reason I've been loving it. So I'm gonna go in with my LA Colors liquid liner. And honestly, any liquid liner can work. This is just what I have in my makeup. So I'm gonna take that, and because it's such a fine tip, like this, I usually just outline these two beauty marks that are already naturally on my face, just to darken them a little bit. And you can see them right now because I didn't go too heavy on my foundation today, but you guys can already see, like, just because I added that little bit of black to those dots, they really pop out. So I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom of my eyebrows. And I usually just go like in the middle and then on the outside like that. I don't know, I think it's really pretty. And I've also done them here, like in the middle, like between my eyes. And that is it. We're done. Okay, let me add the hair for dramatic effect. This is my natural hair, if you guys don't know. I have like 3C hair. It's really, really thick. But for the sake of me just showing you how I would naturally wear it, all this brown is kind of a vibe right now. Okay, so my hair got really long, but I usually just tuck the front like this, and that is the look. Let me zoom in. And that is what my natural makeup routine looks like. Sometimes I will use like a darker lip liner or a more pink lip liner. It really depends on my mood. I have like so many different lip liners, so you can use the same makeup with different lips and it's gonna look like a totally different face of makeup. And then if you want to switch it out and do different dots like in different patterns on your face, that's a whole other different makeup look that you can do too. But that's the end of today's video. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, you already know what I'm gonna say. Subscribe to my channel. It definitely helps me out to continue to make content for you guys. And if you haven't already, make sure that you're hitting that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my future uploads. I love you guys so, so much. And this week's subscriber shout out is gonna be in the next slide. Once again, thank you so much for 40K. I love every single one of you. I'll see you in next week's video. Bye. Thank you.